Welcome. Hi. Thank you for being here with me. I am very excited to just begin again, right? So many beginnings. Begin again this journey of sharing myself and my thoughts and things that I'm engaging with just in my life and in my inquiries. And it feels really good to be here. So thank you again for listening. I want to start by sharing a little bit about my history with engaging around spiritual inquiry and what is the purpose of this whole thing, the existence and life. And when I was probably in elementary school, my father and I started having really late night talks about life and death and astrology and human nature and past lives and just mystical things that I had never been. I mean, that was the first time I was exposed to it, right? And so my parents were both brought up in the church, did not bring us to church growing up, but I still felt so drawn to the mystical and to the unknown. And so it was a really beautiful thing for me to be able to grapple with some of the questions that I had growing up. I remember in particular being very drawn to astrology, and it's been a very wonderful and enlightening tool for me on my path of self-discovery and just kind of something to come back to like look at who I am and who I'm out to be in the world. And for anyone who's wondering, I have a sun in Scorpio, Pisces moon, Virgo rising, and then, of course, Scorpio, Venus and Pluto, as well as Mars and Mercury in Libra and Jupiter in Aries. Lots of good stuff. So my journey really began when I was young, and I have just been, so many different spaces exploring spirituality, and really like for me, it's been a very personal thing. It's been, me taking time with the moon and then being present to the cycles of the moon. It's been, overhearing strangers say something in the perfect time, and then that being this confirmation that there's something that I'm connected to. There's a web that I'm connected to that's bigger than I could ever imagine. And gosh, and then getting that I can be that person. Where I stand is that we are all vessels for God, for source, for the divine, for the sacred, whatever language you want to use. We're all vessels for it to flow through us. And my daily, I don't want to say challenge, but my daily pursuit, my daily path is just getting in touch with that. Because what I've come to see is the mind, the human mind, when I think that I have to figure everything out, my life doesn't work. And that manifests as anxiety, it manifests as depression, it manifests as confusion. And when I tune in or ask, I pray, I'm tuning into something that has a knowledge, the aspect of me that is tuned into knowledge that is beyond what my mind can create, what my ego can create for myself and for my life. So one of the things that I really felt inspired by today was I was listening to a talk on YouTube from Marianne Williamson. She's amazing. She is a person who really practices and shares the Course in Miracles, which is a text that I'm going through right now and really getting so much out of. She's got a lot of books, including this one, A Woman's Worth, an author of A Return to Love. So she has a talk where it's called The Birth of Holiness on YouTube, if you search for it. She says, we all have this experience of feeling like we were born for something great, right? Pretty much every human being has that. And the ego is what comes in and tells us, no, who are you kidding? Who are you to think that you were born to do something great? And to get the magnificence of existence, the beauty and the just the honor that it is to have been birthed into this reality, and what we are capable of as creators. Yes, you were born to be great and to do something great, to do many great things upon this earth. And that is something that I feel so strongly about sharing with people. We are at a time where we are being called to live into the greatness that we are. And this isn't about some great act on a grand scale, right? This is about you being great every day with people, with yourself, with the earth, with the thoughts that you choose to think, with the actions that you choose to take, and the intentions behind those actions. We are being called into greatness, into excellence. And to think otherwise is, it's a normal part of the human experience, right? There's nothing wrong with it. I just want people to get the power that you have to influence this world and how needed you are. Wherever you are, okay? You don't have a career so much as you have an assignment. You don't have relationships so much as you have assignments, right? You have people and places that you've been drawn to, that you've been born into, and that is the area that you get to impact. Those people are your people, the people you cross paths with. Those are your people. And so what is there to do when we begin to question ourselves, right? To question whether or not we're the ones. Well, first of all, prayer, right? Meditation, going inward, getting reconnected to that I am not just this physical, right? The brown hair and the tan skin and the brown eyes. This is, the heart in my chest. That's all part of my body. That's all part of what makes up who I am. But who I am is so much bigger than that. I am wherever I walk in the world, wherever I have walked. I am the impression that I've made on all of the people that I've met and that I will meet. Right? You are bigger than your body. So tuning in to yourself through meditation, through prayer, and remembering that you are bigger than you think. Another thing that I've gotten really present to is I used to be an expert at making myself isolated and being alone and thinking that I had to go through everything and figure everything out by myself. And so for me to have people in my life who listen to me and listen for me as the greatness that I am, that is so powerful. Because when my ego starts to take over and tell me I'm small, I can't do it, there's no way, I'm not the one, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, all that stuff. To have people in my life that I go to who remind me, who listen to me as bigger than that ego mind listens to myself. Friends, my darling friends, we are more than ever being called to connect more deeply with ourselves on that inner plane, with the source where we come from, right? And to connect with one another more deeply. Another talk by Marianne Williamson, she talks about how so many people have such a huge stake in intimate, physically and romantically intimate relationships, that they go through their everyday, hi to this person, hi to that person, not really diving deep with anyone, and then they get to their lover or their partner at the end of the day, and they're just starved, right? Or what she challenges us to do and to be present to is the possibility of going deep with this person and deep with this person and really being with this person and really getting with this person, getting this person's world and being a contribution to this person and being contributed to by this person. And then you get to your partner, your lover at the end of the day, and then you are already full. You already have everything that you need, and you're coming to that person just overflowing. And again, there's nothing wrong with it not going that way all of the time. What there is to do is be aware of how you're spending your time, how you're spending your days, what is the content and context and what are the conversations that you're having with people. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Not just to me, but for listening to you. If you've been guided to watch this video, you're listening. What are you listening to? What are you listening for? When it comes to yourself, when it comes to others, are you listening for greatness from you? Are you listening for greatness from others? I encourage and empower you to try that on. And to give yourself grace. This is a notion that I continue to come back to when I get hard on myself, when I think I'm not doing it right, which happens, okay? None of us are immune to it. But to grant myself grace. So I invite you to do that, to look at how are you listening for yourself and others, and to grant yourself grace. You, more than anyone in the world, are deserving of your own love and your own grace. If you can't grant that, you don't have an experience of being able to grant that to yourself, pray for it. Ask. I love you. I'm so thrilled and excited to just be with you, and just sending my love to anyone watching this at any point in time. I look forward to more. You are deeply loved and blessed.